our breakfast show. Yep, we got the R's in this morning. We got Paul Richard. We got Richard Raghuparsing. We got Ruben in the mix. My name is Steve Khan. We'll keep you company until 9 o'clock this morning. All right, let's get straight into the WTs, see what's happening weather-wise, traffic-wise. I have nothing to tell you traffic-wise. That is great. Nothing to tell you. Not even a little minor accident. Nothing to tell you about east, west, north, south. All right. Getting into the W's. Yes, let's get into weather. It is 25 degrees at both Crown Point, Tobago, and the Piarco International Airport. What's the Met Office saying for your weather for today? Partly cloudy with periods of showers. There's also a medium, 40 to 60% chance that a few of these showers would become heavy and or thundery. Gradual improvement is expected by late afternoon, early evening. All right, so that's your weather forecast for today. Maximum forecast temperature for both islands would be 29 degrees. And checking some temps across our listenership. I get buff when I don't do it. 18 degrees and mostly cloudy in Toronto. Miami, you're at 28 and clear. Orlando, 24 and clear. New York, sunny and 22. Big guy, CJ. It's going to be a nice one for you guys. Atlanta, you're clear at 20. London, across the pond, partly cloudy at 19. Tampa, it's 25. Washington, D.C., it is sunny and 22. All right, let's check who sent us hellos first thing this morning. Ooh, look how it popped up on YouTube. Today being Tuesday, first off the gate, DJ Ray out in Delaware, Garcillian, Valencia, Wendy Ann out in San Juan, Oliver Man Warren, good morning to you, Ollie, Carol Guevara, CJ in New York. On YouTube, let's say good morning, good out to Marcia Rock, Gloria Gray, Mo Gaines out in Aruca. Good morning to you as well. And let me straight across to another part of the country where we say good morning to Paul Richards.
Morning, Steve. Morning, everyone.
I see you didn't change your clothes for the meeting last night.
I don't know what meeting you're talking about. I attended the meeting.
As I was getting ready this morning, I pulled out a yellow shirt and I said, oh no, I got to talk from Wendell, so I put it back. So I picked a color that doesn't represent anything.
Okay, I had different color shirts. So
yeah,
there's no meaning behind it. No great subliminal meaning behind it.
Yeah. So morning to you, my friend. How art thou?
If you look at our colors on Power Digital, they're not red in it anyway. So
yeah, Power Digital is red. So yeah, that's true.
Well, the national flag is red, white, and black. I always tell people that. Good morning. Lot to report this morning.
Yeah, boy.
Jack Warner hit the stage last night at the Center of Excellence, and I think spoke for just over 20 minutes. And Jack is as fiery as ever.
Yeah, boy.
I'll tell you that much. Whew. He aimed his political guns at the PNM, and in particular, Marvin Gonzalez and Stuart Young. He said a lot.
Yeah,
he stammered a lot. He stammered a lot too.
He did?
Some interesting stammers. Let me sip my coffee and mind my business.
Of course, don't sip on a
but
coffee.
He returned to the active political stage last night, and he was as fiery as ever. Quite a large crowd at the Center of Excellence, where UNC political leader and opposition leader Kamala Pasabi-Sessa was flanked by Gary Griffith of the NTA and, of course, Mr. Warner. So they are presenting a unified front heading up to August 14th. Mr. Warner said he wore a yellow shirt with no UNC monogram, but said he had to earn the UNC monogram, and he intended to disband the ILP, the Party, the Independent Liberal Party, and reintegrate into the UNC. He called Mrs. Pasabi the Mandela of the Caribbean, or
Yes.
Trinidad, something like that.
Yeah. The Mandela of local politics.
Of local politics.
Yes.
Said a lot.
Yeah.
So
He
I
did.
expect Mr. Warner to be a central figure in UNC meetings moving forward. The meeting last night had quite a bit of energy. Mr. Warner energized the crowd tremendously.
And he was embraced by members of the UNC.
Yeah. It was a big strategic political move on behalf of the UNC and Mr. Warner. So now we will see how it goes moving forward. Mrs. Pasabi says so also spoke. She spoke about the police service. She described what she described as a mongoose gang in the police service and several other things. Quite interesting, and we will see how it goes. Whew. Politics heating up.
Yeah, boy. Less than 3 weeks before we head to
we
the
will
poll.
have Jack on at 7:30 this morning.
We will.
That should be interesting.
That would be very interesting.
Yep. Jack is never to be counted out. I've always said so.
And say what you want. The people love Jack, you know.
Yeah, he has a connection with people.
Yeah.
He has a connection with people.
The people love Jack.
Like every politician, not all people, but he has a significant following.
Exactly. Let's go with that then.
You understand? He has a really, really significant following in this country. People like him, I think, because of what he did for us with the football more than anything else. And he was, when he was Minister of Works, a very, very effective Minister of Works. He said last night, and these are his words, the amalgam now has the best commissioner of police the country ever saw, the best minister of works the country ever saw, and the best prime minister the country ever saw. So this local government election is, as I've said over and over, it's a really high stake election, and they are pulling out the stops both major political parties. So the PNM goes alone as per usual. The UNC has now joined with the NTA, and Jack Warner has reintegrated with Mrs. Pasabi Sessa after 10 years of them throwing stones at each other. And Philip Alexander and the PP is joined with the Reunited Farmers Party, and Watts Duke is working solo on the ground.
Yes, he is.
So it'll be quite interesting to see what happens, what the results are on August 15th. Not too far off now.
No.
Is it 25th? 10 days, 10 and 15.
Next week, Tuesday.
24 days. So less than a month.
Less than a month.
And it's going to it's going to heat up more and more and more as time goes on. I'm guessing it'll get even more vitriolic. Watch TV, sip coffee, mind business. In that order. Repeat.
Watch TV, drink coffee, mind business.
Mind business. Shaka Hislop has put out a statement after he fainted on air. He collapsed on air, which is this.
24 was, this has been. Listen, every so often life gives you a moment to pause, and this was mine. There's so much I have to be thankful for. My wife, kids, family, loved ones, friends, people I've shared a space with over the years and have lost touch with for whatever reason, and I've reached out either directly or indirectly. Thank you. My response now has to be to seek out the best medical opinion that I can get and listen to what my doctors have to say. In closing, I'd like to say thanks to Dan and the ESPN family, the camera operators, the medical staff at the Rose Bowl, all who responded in the way that they did and afforded me the care that I got. Thank you. I know now that even when we argue and disagree, I have the fullest support of each and every one of you. I'm looking forward to getting back, doing what I enjoy doing most. See you in a bit.
So that's the statement that Shaka Hislop put out yesterday after his this incident
Yeah.
while he was doing commentary for a match in Europe for ESPN. And very strangely collapsed while on air. Thank God his co-anchor was there to break his fall. He got some bruises on his face, and as he said in the clip there, he is going to seek the best medical attention that he can, and I guess they'll figure out what went wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a normal occurrence. That potentially may speak to some sort of neurological issue, but I hope not. I hope he's okay and it was just a blip, you know? It must be really scary though, just going blank and, you know? Could have been just exhaustion too, you know?
That too. And especially with the heat wave going across the US.
His doctors will figure it out. His medical care professionals will figure it out. And I guess he has the option of keeping it to himself and his family or sharing it with his supporters globally, because he has quite a big fan base in Trinidad and Tobago and around the world. Certainly in Trinidad, Tobago, the Caribbean, and across Europe and the US, where he's a very, very popular sports anchor. Housing Minister Camille Robertson-Ramage has denied claims by Mrs. Pasabi Sessa, the leader of the opposition, that the PNM candidates are using state grants to entice voters. I tell you, this is a general election type campaign. You know,
I was thinking the same thing as you were talking a while ago. When you said sip coffee, mind business. It really seems like it's a general election that's going to take place. The way it's just pumped up.
Yep. It is very, very akin to a general election. Very akin. I mean, they're pulling out these stops. We could probably ask the question to if people think, the audience thinks it's going to result in a larger than usual voter turnout. Because over the years, local government elections have not yielded a large voter turnout.
Yeah,
but with this kind of campaigning and the number of entities taking part, who knows? People may be enticed because of the stakes here. If the PNM, it's right now it's 7-7, as we've said before. It's very important for the PNM to have a good showing in this, given what happened in Tobago, because the result, if the PNM loses any corporation or districts, will be used as a political whipping dog for the UNC. They say the people are fed up. If the UNC loses corporations or districts, it will have an impact on people's opinion of Mrs. Pasabi Sessa's stewardship, because she's been under pressure in the last 7 or 8 years since losing in 2015 2 general elections. So it's for both political leaders, Dr. Rowley and Mrs. Pasabi Sessa, it is, and their respective parties, it is a very important. For Gary Griffith, it's important to see if his party has gained any traction on the ground. He's a very popular police commissioner, and we see if that translates into a popular political leader. For Philip Alexander, it means it has great significant meaning to see if the People's Party, Progressive Empowerment Party, I beg your pardon, has gained traction on the ground. Philip has been on social media and on some meetings advocating very strongly. And for Watson Duke, it's very important to see if he has translated from Tobago to Trinidad, and we'll see if he's gotten over all the drama with Kizelle Jackson, Farley Augustine, and all of that. Yeah. So for every single one of the political entities, it's a high-stake election. Every single one of them. And they're showing, or lack thereof, in this on August 15th after the 14th, when the final vote is cast. It will mean a lot. I much expect, depending on who does well and who doesn't do well, a lot of mud to be slung at the EBC and the normal.
Yeah, the mudslinging.
And whether the election was fair and all of that. People who do well are going to say the election was fair. People who don't do well are going to say they have issues with the EBC. And I think it's very important for all these systems to be in place on August 14th to make sure that people have free, safe access to the polls, and there are no other incidents that can be cited as infringement of people's democratic right and franchises. So a lot happening.
And it's only going to heat up.
Oh yeah. So I guess we could open the phones and see what people think. I didn't get a chance to cut up clips from Jack Warner's thingy last night. And if this big video could load, boy, because it's a 20-minute video, so
holy cow.
We could just play back a little piece. If this large video could load on this system, let me see.
Try feeling. So we'll take some of your calls. 222-8255. Toll free North Americans 866-525.
For Austin, Jack Warner!
Was that Jack Warner making his way onto the stage last night to tumultuous applause at the Center of Excellence.
Big crowd.
This kind of greeting I have just received, I am now asking myself, why wasn't I here before? But as the good book says, nothing happens before its time. And tonight I am here by choice, because I believe that it's time we accept the wish and the advice of our political leader, Kamla Prasad Bisesa, and come together to fight the common enemy. Nothing is gained by division. And the point I want to make is that this country is now heading down into an abyss quickly, and our collective efforts must be put together to save our country. Many persons have asked me why I'm coming to this meeting. But Jack Warner, you mad? You and Kamla again? And a whole amount of garbage. But those are the very same people who would spend day and night quarreling about Rowley and the PNM, would spend day and night criticizing Rowley and the PNM, but they would stay on the fence and do nothing about it.
So that's the first part that we're going to share with you this morning. We share different excerpts as the morning progresses. You see the kind of welcome you got.
Yeah, boy.
Something now dawned on me when I looked at the yellow and the blue. It looks like a Barbados flag, yeah?
You mean any crowd?
The yellow and blue, the combination of yellow and blue.
Yeah.
And I saw, is it Aerofabian I saw in one of these seats in the front here?
Oh, I was.
I think he's part of the NTA also.
Yes, he is.
So let's open the phone lines that people tell us what they think of that.
Got some calls already here, Paul.
Return of Jack Warner.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
Yes, morning.
Good morning, Paul.
Good morning. I'm hardly hearing you for some reason this morning.
Yeah, morning. Go ahead.
Yes, I think something wrong here. So there was a big crowd, yes. But what was new did Jack want to speak about? What did he bring different to the table, to the crowd last night? Except move along and bacchanal, you know? What did Mrs. Sessa bring last night or say last night that we have never heard before? I am still waiting to hear something what they're going to do about local government reform, what they think about it. They haven't been speaking on that. I mean, if you want to talk about general elections, you know, it have a year and something, you could start campaigning about what is happening or about your point of view on local government reform. When you want to win all these seats to the corporation, local government reform will still take place according to the Prime Minister. So what are your views on it? I am not hearing these things. I just find it's just a bacchanal thing to rile up people and bringing up claims and counterclaims and accusations and all kind of stupidness. So I wasn't impressed, to tell you the truth. I was not impressed because I know there's nothing Jack Warner going and say that has never been said before, and it's just more bacchanal for the crowd. That's it.
Thank you. Two talk. 222-8255. 612-8255, toll free. North Americans 866-525-1099.
Well done, Paul.
What you think about Jack Warner's return to the political arena last night?
Mm-hmm.
Had quite a fiery delivery. Yes, there was a lot of bacchanal and confusion in it too. Mm-hmm. Of course, he's not shy when it comes to bringing the quote unquote political fire. He's never been.
No, he's not.
He looks well though. He looks very well.
He looks the same.
Yeah, he looks very. Clearly, he's been keeping himself healthy and looking well.
Yeah. So 222-8255, North Americans, give us a buzz. 866-525-1099. That's our number directly into our studio. Of course, we're taking a couple of calls. It is 28 minutes after the hour is 6 o'clock on this, the 25th day of July. Just a reminder of our morning poll from yesterday. We'll give the results coming up in about 10-15 minutes. Do you believe Jack Warner will help Kamala Persad-Bissessar win again? That was our poll yesterday. Vote on it. Give you final results coming up in a short.
He is touted by many as the person who really was the queen maker in 2010, when he was an integral part of the UNC back then, before their falling out.
Mm-hmm.
Before their term ended in 2015, and since then, he had been a strong critic of Mrs. Persad-Bissessar. He addressed that last night in part, saying that people have been playing back all the memes and all of his vitriol spewed at Mrs. Persad-Bissessar over the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm. We do have a call. Let's take this call, Paul. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Yes, I was listening to what Paul was saying. I just wanted to hear the last bit of it. But anyhow, I have a limited amount of credit on my phone. So I would just say that I just find that everything that Jack Warner has been doing now, it seems as though there's another opportunity that he's seeing for financial benefit. I mean, all government ministers see the benefits of going up for office. And it's time that our citizens inform ourselves that there are other motivators besides or what people use as the guys are saying that they want a better country. They are greater motivators than what is being said to us. And we have to be aware that there are financial benefits associated with becoming government ministers and having all these companies by their relatives who, want to have houses, mansions in Trinidad, mansions in Miami, and big, large bank accounts outside of our island. And this is where all of our money resources or our state resources are going. So people need to understand what is happening and ask questions as to what is the reason why they're going up in office in the first place. So I think people, when they're going to these meetings, unless you're going for a handout yourself, you have to be concerned about the state of the country that you're going to leave when you die. And we have inherited this land rich with a lot of natural resources, oil and gas. And we really have to start out asking ourselves, what are we leaving for the next generation? And that is my contribution for today. And
thank you so much.
You finish saying what you were saying there before.
Yeah, that is my train of thought. You were so articulate, I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, you were quite, actually.
But thank you for calling. We appreciate your contribution.
Okay, thanks, Paul. Right. Have a good day, everybody.
Have a great one yourself.
Yeah. To be fair, I don't think Mr. Warner, from what little I know, and I could be very wrong, needs anybody's money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Mr. Warner has sat at the top level of the world's biggest sporting organization for many years. And I don't think Mr. Warner's motivator is money. That's just my opinion. I think I could be wrong. Mr. Warner is 70-something, is it, Steve?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
And the data part of the 70s, I don't think he's wanting for money. But I don't know his personal financial situation, just from anecdotally. So, but I don't know what his motivation. Clearly, well, his stated motivation is to quote unquote get rid of the PNM and Dr. Rowley.
Yeah,
he's been very clear about
80
that.
years old.
Yeah. So, all right. And so I saw Jack spoke. Mrs. Pasabi sister spoke. I didn't see Gary Griffith speaking last night. But I guess the campaigns are young, and we shall see how they evolve moving forward. If I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, when we had Khadijah Amin on a couple of weeks ago, she said that the NTA and Gary Griffith are not contesting the seats that are held by the UNC. They're contesting, not seats, the districts, that are held by PNM candidates. So I guess it's a strategy to see if Gary can make inroads and his NTA can make inroads into PNM held districts, which makes sense, strategically. You're not going to remove people who have been successful in your own districts that you have a stronghold in, particularly. You're going to try to consolidate those and make inroads into PNM held districts. So I get that. That's what Gary is focusing on. But so too is Watson Duke in some parts. So I don't know how that dynamic is going to reconcile itself. Because Watson Duke is also going in a few primarily PNM held districts.
Yeah.
And Philip Alexander is across the board, fielding candidates across the board. So we see it's going to be very, very interesting election results. So we're taking your calls to talk.
Mr. Carapo says there'll be a larger voter turnout, says Mr. Carapo. Good morning, James.
Yeah, that's going to be a question this morning. If they think Jack Warner and all of this interest and all the campaigns, the very, very national election type campaigns, is going to result in a larger than usual voter turnout for the local government election 2023. So we're going to ask that later on. So let me just play a little piece of Jack again, and then we'll go to the newspapers. And
let me say hello to folks that are watching us on YouTube. Doreen Pierre, Josie Richardson, Rena Budu Jennings, Mo Gaines, good morning. Never a dull moment in Sweet TNT for sure. Beefy Smith, good morning to you. Beauty Culture, Alan Reese, Brenda Isaac, Ingrid Adams, Jacinta Nicholas, Ms. Maloney, the great And Mrs. R is logged on. Where's your better half?
Well, tonight I have decided to do something about it, and I'm here. Many people want to know why I'm back, and I'll tell you why I'm back. But before I do, I'll tell you why I'm wearing this shirt and I don't have a UNC monogram or logo on my pocket. I'll tell you why. I didn't want to come here tonight and put on a UNC shirt just so marking UNC until I have earned the right to do so. And I will tell you this. And I will tell you this. Because I am aware that there are some persons who will leave a party at 8 a.m. and be embraced by the Prime Minister at noon. I didn't want that. There are others who would see a check for $550,000 and would leave just so. No, I must come and work among my brothers and sisters in the UNC and the NTA and earn my dues.
Welcome home, Jack.
You know,
Good morning, Mr. Roger.
Good morning. The ending image of that sequence.
Watching that sequence made me very thirsty.
Welcome home, Jack.
That yellow and blue.
You're thirsty. Why?
Yellow and blue for a beer.
Oh, okay. Wait, that's Carib colors too. That's true. There's the Bajan flag, but there's also Carib colors.
Yeah.
So, your papers, Raghubarsing?
No, I'm sorry, I don't.
What?
All right. Welcome to the show. Let's roll through the papers. Our suggested poll this morning is: do you think the campaigns that are afoot for local government election will result in a higher than usual voter turnout? Do you acquiesce to that?
Yeah. Do you think there'll be a higher turnout for this local government elections? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's start with The Guardian online. It is Tuesday, 25th July, 2023. Guardian online, Jack, Kamala, Gary join forces against common enemy, PNM. PNM mocks LGE contenders in flip-flop broadcast. Jack, Kamala, and Gary join forces against common enemy, PNM. Unions consider possibility of joining with UNC. Man hired to do a job ambushed by gunmen. Warner labels Kamala the Mandela of local politics, vows to disband ILP. Tears and dancing as mourners say farewell to man killed in Naikwan accident. Overseas after 6 years in Iraq prison, terrorists jail term ends tomorrow. Flight to return to TNT. It's an interesting development. Former presiding officer, house misused, abused in last THA special sitting. And Shaka, I'm feeling much better. Thank you messages. Where we played Shaka's message earlier on this morning after his incident on live TV over the weekend. Let's move now to the Express Online. Jack on the attack. He's vowed that the threesome of the UNC himself, Gary Griffith and Mrs. Sabi says will unseat the PNM, the common enemy, the PNM. Over 3,000 young men turned up outside, braving the rains to be prison officers, to be screened to become a prison officer. Wasn't that an interesting development? Gunmen tried to kill me. Unhappy with HDC. PNM does not buy votes, says Camille. US, IOM help migrant girls. And Gavaskar back at second home. As cricket continued. Was the cricket result yesterday? I know I had to follow cricket, so.
Steve will have to give that.
You will have to let me know because I don't know.
Steve will have to give that, or Wendell will have to send it into the...
Yeah. Let's move now to the news day online for today, Tuesday. Picture of Jack Warner, Kamala Bissell-Bissessa and Gary Griffith at the UNC meeting at the Center of Excellence last evening. Jack, on reuniting with Kamala and Gary, we can save Trinidad and Tobago from the abyss. 2 charged with cocaine murder. Keezel Jackson survives Aruba car crash, says God still has a purpose for me. Bloated body fished out of Rio Claro Pond. Goodbye, Daddy. Massey worker laid to rest after 37 days. Parliament to remember 1990 attempted coup on Thursday. Election candidates rush to Hollywood. And Venezuelan embassy, UE honor Simon Bolivar. So those are some of the trending stories in your Express, Guardian, and Newsday for today, Tuesday, the 25th of July, 2023. Somebody said it rained out. It's a draw. The rain saved them, boy. It's a draw. Is Raghubar Singh frozen? Or your head was just down? So it was a draw.
Okay, great.
Right?
Which was kind of what I think Wendell was suggesting that would happen. And he was a little upset because he felt that the West Indies could have won it. So, all right, so we could go to a poll, but we just have to wait for Steve to come back because he'll be needing to. Oh, there he is. Okay. All right, well, let's get the results of our morning poll that we asked you yesterday. Do you believe that Jack Warner will help Kamala Bissell-Bissessa win again? That was our poll. 53%, 5-3, said yes. 53% said yes. They believe that Jack Warner will help Kamala Bissell-Bissessa win again. And our new poll this morning, of course, connects to the local government elections also. In light of the heightened campaigning, do you think that the local government elections will have a higher than usual turnout? That's our poll this morning. In light of the heightened campaigning, do you think that the local government election will have a higher than usual voter turnout? That's our poll this morning. What do you think? That's what we want to know. And you can start voting at this point. 2222-TALK, 222-TALK, 222-8255. North Americans toll free to you at 866-525-1099. The numbers are scrolling beneath. And people in other parts of the planet, 1-868-222-TALK, 222-8255. And people on the web and the app, of course, you can use the messaging platforms on those messaging platforms there to send your votes either yes or no. In light of the heightened campaigning, do you think that the local government elections 2023 will see a higher than usual voter turnout? That's our poll this morning, because certainly it has heightened. Yeah. With all of these alliances. Yeah, and I just did a refresh on our poll.
It's very much closer to
I just did a refresh on our poll from yesterday, and it doing a refresh on our poll from yesterday. It actually jumped this morning from when I checked it at 6:30 to now to 79% said yes. So within that 15 minutes, unless we got a bunch of votes. Wow. All right. Do you think there will be a higher voter turnout for the local government elections? Yes or no? 222-8255. North Americans, 866-525-1099. On YouTube, you can vote on YouTube and, of course, on our portal at our website and mobile app as well. You can vote. All right.
Morgan 7:50 this morning. Morgan said yes, Richard.
Yeah. Morgan says yes.
At 7:50 this morning, we tried to have Jack Warner on.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Morgan said yes. Josie Richardson said yes. Okay. Slick Money Grip says no. Good morning to you, Orlando.
Politics is really a blood sport, you know.
Rabba, good morning. Yes, it is. Isn't it?
Woo, Jack was on fire last night, boy. Jeez. I mean, he did not just say that. He did not just say that.
Yeah. Stretch.
He did not just stammer like that. No.
Strut says yes. Junior says yes. D, morning D, yes to the poll.
In other news, the House of Representatives sat in a very short sitting yesterday to approve the amendments for the procurement bill in the House. Of course, it passed. Government has the majority. I don't think everybody even attended yesterday.
Yeah. Mr. Karapu says there'll be a larger voter turnout. That's a yes. Oops, what am I doing here? All right, so 222-8255, toll-free North Americans. Give us a call, 866-525-1099.
So in light of the heightened campaigning, do you think that the local government elections 2023 will see a higher than usual voter turnout? That's our poll this morning.
Beauty Culture, good morning. Carol Guevara says yes to the poll. Right. Let's see anything here. CJ out in New York says yes. Let's see what else we have here. Leonard Nightwall. Good morning to you, Leonard. Okay, you didn't vote. All right, so 222-8255. Let's see. Right. In light of the heightened campaigning, do you think the local government elections for this year, 2023, will see a higher than usual voter turnout? That is our poll. All right.
Steve, I'm reading a 7 o'clock news.
Ooh. Okay. All right, I'll have to organize that. Edward Aliong says no. Anthony Tinto says yes.
So in light of the heightened campaigning, and it's certainly heightened campaigning,
Definitely.
do you think the local government elections 2023 will see a higher than usual voter turnout? That's our poll this morning. 222-TALK, 222-8255, North Americans, 866-525-1099, and that's toll-free, by the way. People in other parts of the planet, 1-868-222-TALK, and people on the web and app and on YouTube, you can send your votes via the respective messaging platforms on those sites. So do you think that the local government elections 2023 will see a higher than usual voter turnout in light of the heightened campaigning? What's your take? Yes or no?
And I expect the campaigning to get even more vitriolic, to be very honest. Last night was just the start of it. It is going to get very... Actually, last night wasn't the start of it. Now I've been seeing it before that, to be very honest. So I've been seeing it before that. So it is going to get very, very... It is going to continue to intensify. Let me put it that way. I think it's going to be an increased turnout. I think the parties are pulling out the stops. I think there's so many new players who are intent on making their first major showing, including Gary Griffiths NTA, including Philip Alexander, and also the PDP in Trinidad, as opposed to its showing in Tobago. And I think just like the PNM and the UNC, it's a high-stakes election for them also, because if they don't show in this, it's going to be an even more difficult prospect when they get to 2025. Getting your foot in the door in this means that you can start to build on that toward 2025. So, and that's why I think the parties are all so fervent in their campaigning, because both major parties know this is a referendum on how people think about them since the last general, and it will be used as a political tool, the results anyway, heading to 2025. You're going to see a lot of shouting from the 15th of August, depending on what happens. And right now it's dead even 7-7 in terms of corporations. So We see how all this strategizing has paid off for the major political parties. So, a question this morning: what do you think in light of heightened campaigning? And no one can doubt the campaigning is much heightened. I mean, look at last night.
Yeah, true.
Like the general election type gathering. Not so.
Yeah.
The whole setup, the broadcast, everything, and the PNM has been having the same kinds of meetings. I think I saw a poster this morning. Did I save it? Where the PNM is heading to two places this week, tomorrow, and I think Friday. In 1 week, you know. And they were in a community meeting in Chaguanas on Friday. So, and Dr. Roddy is the carded speaker, the keynote speaker in both those meetings. So,
yeah,
it's pulling out all stops.
Yeah, we have a call here. Good morning.
Good morning. Just like the Tobago House of Assembly election, yes, it feels like a general election campaign because I am sure a lot of money is being spent. And because it feels like a general elections campaign, the supporters believe a lot is at stake, and also the parties believe a lot is at stake also. So they are also pulling out all this stuff. But yes, and as such, I believe because the supporters believe a lot is at stake, they are going to be coming out in their numbers. And yes, I therefore believe that there's going to be a higher than usual increase in the local government elections in terms of people coming out. Take
Thank
care.
you.
Thank you.
I think it's good though, because there's been an apathy toward local government election over the years. That people say, yeah, you understand? And but you're not hearing a lot of. But you're hearing some. The PNM is focusing on. I think their theme is reform, right? But a lot of national issues have taken prominence, in particular crime. You know, crime and jobs. And last night, Mr. Warner also referenced young people, young qualified people leaving the country in droves, and people packing up and leaving because of the crime situation. So a lot of national election issues have taken prominence in this election also. It's not about the typical local government issues that are being discussed or advocated for on the platform. So we will see if the population is energized.
Ish out in Malik. Morning, Ish. Says no. Miss Ingrid in Tucson, Arizona says absolutely yes. Lorna, morning, Lorna. Indy, and of course, Carly, good morning. Yes, I think so. Jason in Port of Spain says no. I'm uninspired to vote for anybody. Leonard Naipaul says yes. What says you, caller?
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
I could think about it, whatever I want to write. I can't see how people is going up for election just based on. Hello, are you voting?
Yes or no, San
No, well,
Fernando?
I didn't hear the vote. I just calling to talk about the election thing. I'm sorry.
All right, so let me tell you what the question is. The poll is, in light of the heightened campaigning, do you think the local government elections will see a higher than usual voter turnout?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
All righty. There you go.
Gavaskar,
DJ Ray says yes. All right, that's another yes.
Duly recorded. Our poll this morning, as you can see, it's straight in front of you below, like a ticker tape, but it's not, but like, in light of the heightened campaigning, do you think the LGE 2023 will see a higher than usual voter turnout? That's our poll this morning as we head towards 7 o'clock. 222 talk, 222-8255. North Americans 866-525-1099. You can also vote via the messaging platforms on your respective web app, YouTube, wherever you are. You can vote.
Given what I heard last night, I can only imagine what will happen at the PNM meeting tomorrow night. you know, is intensification.
You sound like you just getting your popcorn ready. Let me see where this goes.
Watch. Some tea, drink some popcorn. Keep your head low.
Oh my goodness.
Keep your head low. Politics is a blood sport. After last night, generally, politics is a blood sport. Woo. When they have you in the crosshairs,
Yeah.
When they have you in the crosshairs, there are problems.
Yeah, they have a strong back.
No pun intended.
Rampage says no. Ms. Maloney says yes. Lando says yes. And he thinks that more is going to come out.
You have to have a real constitution. Let me put it that way. And if you're saying things on the platform, expect fire to be returned.
Of course.
Jack Warner targeted 2 people last night in particular. It's like, wow, did he just really say that? And he just said that, right? And you saw, the old politician in him come out last night. It's like, as he said, I promise not to go negative, but all you know are weak. All you know are weak. So I was given to it sometimes. And you all know I stutter, right? So let me correct that. He did not just say that. No, he did not. He targeted let me leave it alone, huh? Let me don't get involved in that confusion. Let me just let people hear what they have to hear.
I didn't hear who he targeted, and I was like, and if I'm like other listeners who did not hear it, they would have expected
the two names he targeted was Young and Gonzalez, and that's what I'm going to say.
Oh, okay.
He said Marvin Gonzalez said that he's going to show my red card, and he went at Gonzalez with some quite tongue-in-cheek stutters, and he responded to Stuart Young's invitation that he has a first-class ticket for him in some very choice words about a very public situation.
Well, that didn't really clear it up for me, but okay.
Well, I ain't repeating the back of that.
I know. I gathered that you were being circumspect.
I am not going to be repeating the Bachanal, okay? Because it's real Bachanal.
I hear you.
It's Bachanal beyond compare. And of course, it always goes to the lowest common denominator when you train mud, right?
Yep, it does.
Right. So, right, you did dive for what they think can hurt you the most, and they put it out there. Because I'm sure the meme factory was on full production mode last night.
Mm.
So Jack Warner clips are all over the internet this morning with the choice words. Okay, right. So a question this morning in light of heightened campaigning, do you think the local government election 2023 will see a higher than usual voter turnout? Yes. Or no. Again. Very, very simple. Later on this morning at 7:30, we will have the man of the moment, Austin Jack Warner, who is no stranger to this show.
Oh, no, he's not.
Twitter has changed its logo, has it?
Yeah, X. Planning to make it a big X. Are people still there? I thought everybody moved to Threads.
No, people are doing both.
I came off Twitter. Not that I used to use it much anyway. But from the time
just another app to me.
Yeah,
just another app.
Yeah, by the time
anyway, it's 7 a.m.
I don't need this app. Bye.
News is next.
This is your news bulletin from Power 102 Digital.
It's 7 o'clock in Trinidad and Tobago. This is news to 7 a.m. on News Power Digital. First, the headlines. Jack Warner promises to disband his independent Liberal Party ILP and eventually reintegrate into the United National Congress. He says the writing is on the wall for the PNM. Housing Minister Camille Robinson-Regis denies claims by the opposition leader that PNM candidates are using state grants to entice voters. And amendments to procurement bill get support from 19 MPs, and the prolonged heat waves in the US leads to an uptick in severely burned patients. We have details coming up next. This is news to 7 a.m. on News Power Digital. Good morning. Jack Warner has promised to disband his independent Liberal Party ILP and eventually reintegrate it into the United National Congress, UNC. This, as he shared a political platform appearance with Kamala Prasad-Bissessar for the first time in a decade last night after his acrimonious split from the UNC in 2013. Warner was speaking at the UNC's Accommodation 2023 local government elections meeting at the Center of Excellence in Macoya last night. He was presented along with National Transformation Alliance leader Gary Griffith after the three parties joined forces to fight the PNM in the August 14th elections. He declared, open quotations, the writing is on the wall for the People's National Movement, close quotations, as he vowed that the threesome of himself, Kamala Prasad-Bissessar, and Gary Griffith would remove the Keith Rowley-led government. After 10 years, Warner returned to the political spotlight last night wearing a yellow shirt. He joined hands with Prasad-Bissessar and NTA leader Gary Griffith at the Center of Excellence in Macoya. He opened his speech saying he was present by choice to save this country from heading into an abyss under the PNM. He saluted Prasad-Bissessar as the Mandela of local politics in reference to late South African leaders' efforts at national reconciliation after apartheid. Warner spoke for only about 15 minutes, but did not offer any explanation as to his previous fallings out with Prasad-Bissessar and Griffith, but simply said that the cause of saving the nation now required them all to work together. And minutes before the UNC began its joint political meeting last night, the People's National Movement announced it will be airing a very special campaign broadcast, which replaced its public meeting yesterday. The campaign video, which was entitled Flip Flops, featured several short clips of sound bites mocking leader of the opposition, Prasad-Bissessar, Progressive Empowerment Party's PP political leader, Philip Alexander, and Griffith. One clip included Griffith saying, quote, I have worked with 4 prime ministers as the right hand, Patrick Manning, Basdeo Panday, Keith Rowley, and Kamala Prasad-Bissessar, and she is indeed the hardest working prime minister, while the background music played, you hear lie? That is lie. On to other news now. Housing Minister Camille Robinson-Regis has denied claims by leader of the opposition, Kamala Prasad-Bissessar, that PNM candidates are using state grants to entice voters. Prasad-Bissessar has called for a police investigation into what she described as blatant political corruption in the use of state resources by PNM local government candidates who, via flyers, have invited people to call and visit them for state grants. Robinson-Regis denied the claim, adding that the PNM does not buy votes. She criticized Prasad-Bissessar, whom she says presided over a free-for-all during her tenure as Prime Minister. Social Development and Family Services Minister Donna Cox also rejected the claim, saying there was no substance behind it. 19 members of Parliament voted for, while 8 voted against amendments made by the Senate to the Public Procurement and Disposal of Public Property Bill 2023. The House of Representatives held a second extraordinary sitting at Parliament on Monday. The Attorney General, during debate on the bill, said under the improved bill, contracts are going to be made using the $1 million TT threshold and must be reported to the Office of the Procurement Regulator, which will ensure transparency. Earlier, MP for Barataria Sanwan Saddam Hussein raised concerns on whether government services could be brought to a halt should the OPR, which is an independent body, say that no to a request from the Minister of Finance.
Let's just say minister sends the order to the OPR. OPR says no, but the minister wants this particular service exempted. What does the minister do? Madam Speaker, is it that we will now have a government having to apply to a court for judicial review action for the approval for a court to now supervise that particular process of the OPR? Because the minister wants this, The OPR is saying no. What recourse does the minister have?
On to other news now. Deportation orders have been signed for the 143 Venezuelan migrants who have been detained at the Chaguanas heliport for the past 16 days. There are reports that the Ministry of National Security has begun signing off on the orders, although it remained unclear yesterday when the deportation exercise will be done. Several of those being held at the facility begged for leniency. 73 women and 71 men refused to sign the deportation orders after a verification exercise was done by officers of the Immigration Division. Despite this, there were unconfirmed reports that 9 detainees had been handed deportation orders dated July 24th and signed by National Security Minister Fitzgerald Hines. The detainees, whose ages range from 17 to 46, were held by national security officials while attending a birthday party hosted by a bar owner. While the 143 detainees have remained at the heliport in squalid conditions, or conditions described as squalid, hoping they would be allowed a hearing, their hopes were dashed yesterday as some began receiving deportation orders. In international news, a prolonged heat wave in the U.S. has led to an uptick in severely burnt patients who were injured after touching hot surfaces or objects, including asphalt roads. Medics in Arizona said some patients were hurt after falling onto asphalt, which had been heated by the sun. The city of Phoenix has now seen a record-breaking 24 consecutive days of temperatures above 43 degrees Celsius. Officials warn that ground temperatures can reach near boiling point and warn people to seek shelter from the fiery heat. We end our 7 a.m. newscast. We come back home with news of the weather for the period today through midnight. Trinidad and Tobago, partly cloudy and cloudy with periods of showers. There's also the medium 40 to 60% chance of a few of these becoming heavy and or thundery. Gradual improvement is expected by late afternoon and early evening. Gusty winds and street and or flash flooding are possible near heavy downpours. It's currently a cool 27 and 28 degrees at both Piarco and Crown Point. Expect a high of 30 and 31 degrees respectively. To end our newscast at 7 a.m. here are the headlines once again. Jack Warner promises to disband his Independent Liberal Party ILP and reintegrate into the United National Congress. He says the writing is on the wall for the PNM. Housing Minister Camille Robinson-Regis denies claims by the opposition that the PNM candidates are using state grants to entice voters. The amendments to procurement bill get support from 19 MPs, and a prolonged heat wave in the U.S. leads to an uptick in severely burnt patients turning up at hospitals. That is news to 7 a.m. right here on News Power Digital. We'll have major news coming your way at 12 noon with headlines again at 8 a.m.
Up to date and credible. Power 102 Digital.
Alrighty, 9 minutes after the hour of 7 o'clock. Thank you so much for joining us on the second hour of the Power Breakfast Show. Thank you, Paul, for our major news. Of course, as Paul said, we'll have a news brief coming up at 8 and major news again at noon. Quickly, let's take a look at what's happening on the roads of TNT. If you're in San Fernando, I have nothing really to tell you about. Couva, Rivulet Road heading towards Couva, California, and Point Lisas. That's a heavy. Freeport towards Chicagonas. You've got some traffic there. That Chaguanas Main Road is also a bit busy, and taking the southern main road towards Caroni, with the center being Chin Chin Road, you've got some traffic there. All right, Santa Rosa on the highway, a bit slow but heavy as you get to Trinity City towards UE, and then after that, smooth sailing until you passed Barataria. You're going to get some traffic there this morning. Kamara Karna is a bit heavy this morning. Eastern Main Road, only going by McCoy and by Arima Old Road and getting towards the Quasi in San Juan. You've got a little build up there. All right, so that's a quick traffic update for you. Of course, let's get into the results of our morning poll. I have nothing new for you, gentlemen.
All right, so I have the results.
All righty then.
So we had 22 people voting on the allotted time. So we had 22 people voting on the poll. And of course, our poll this morning was, in light of the heightened campaigning, do you think the local government elections 2023 will see a higher than usual voter turnout? We had 22 people voting in the allotted time. Of the 22 people, 17 of you said yes. You do think it's going to have a higher than usual turnout. 5 of you said no. Of course, you can continue to vote on this poll throughout the day, throughout programming, and we'll give you the final results tomorrow morning, which will be Wednesday, and also midweek. So that's it. 17-5. That's the poll results this morning. And of course, you can continue to vote, and we'll see what the final result and tally will be tomorrow morning on this particular poll of the possibility of an increased voter turnout, and whether you think that's going to happen, yes or no.
So Jack Warner is carded to be our guest at 7:30. Sorry.
Yeah.
Let's play a little piece. Let's play a little piece of the clip again from last night. Or we continue to take your calls.
And when I do earn my dues, I will then convene an emergency meeting of the ILP and disband it. Because the ILP has to be formally reintegrated with the UNC. We are one family. One family. One family. And why? But let me go quickly, because the way we're going, I'm about to finish. And why it is we have one family? We have one family because we have one leader, we have one focus, and that is to fight the People's National Movement. Our youngest citizens, our brightest, are leaving this country in droves. Unemployment is high. Crime has run away. And I ask myself, what can we do to solve it? You know what we can do? We have among us the best commissioner of police this country has ever seen. Gary Griffith. Gary Griffith. We have among us the best Minister of Works and Transport this country has ever seen. And this same minister of Works and Transport was also the best national security minister this country has ever seen. And with Gary and myself and the best prime minister this country has ever seen, that threesome, you have no cause to fear.
Jack said a threesome, yes?
Yeah. You seem to be really enjoying this ball.
Yes. sips tea.
Oh my goodness. Politics, you're right. Politics is really...
It's a blood sport.
Yep. Oh, shit.
It is a blood sport. So we have a couple minutes before we get Mr. Warner on the phone. Now we open
Yes,
the
and
phone lines.
we
have a couple of calls on.
And I would be remiss of me not to remind people that what you're looking at me so for.
Well, yeah, that too.
Right. We have a call. Good morning.
It's on this weekend at the Central Bank Auditorium on Saturday at 8:30 and Sunday at 6:30.
People doing these dirty things to win an election. What has Dr. Rowley done wrong since he did? He did an excellent job with the COVID. People eating back their vomit. Just they're not going in an election to better the country, you know. They're going in an election to remove Dr. Rowley. Can't everybody just fight for country? There are buildings that build with one government, and when the next one come in power, it sits there and rotten down like the Lara Stadium. These nonsense shouldn't be taking place. It's one government money, whether who started, who didn't finish it, somebody have to finish it. Can they stop the mudslinging? Can they prop up who there and see what can be done for the country? When you could go so low to eat back your vomit just to remove Dr. Rowley. Good grief. Get together now, people. You all are adults. You all have common sense. Stop pulling the country down. Get together, fight for country. Good grief. I'm fed up.
All right. Thank you. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Well, last time that was what kind of campaign was that? Mr. Warner has no party again. Mr. Warner is the ILP. So what he bringing to the table and making people feel that the ILP don't go join and putting it have nobody. They done disperse into different parties already long time since the party went dead. So he just came there to boast up himself, what he did and who he was the best of this and best of that and a lot of nonsense that they think is Dr. Rowley reminding people it is not a general election. It is a local government election. So that was just a set of talk of hate and bacchanal and comment. What people learn from that? I like to use the time, yes? That's all I had to say.
What's the breakfast?
Thank you. And
What's the breakfast?
What is it you would like to have, my dear? Just say the word.
Buljol.
Oh God, Buljol is just
and bake. And bake.
Sparrow.
And homemade coconut bake.
You want coconut bake with it too?
And you don't like my saltfish salty. I don't wash it too much with the salt.
Oh.
You know you like to overwash your saltfish sometimes.
I believe you.
Leave a little bit of the saltfish for please.
No. Well, hear what? No, that is not going to happen this morning. You get breakfast some other morning. That request. So
have a good day, Zena.
Go and enjoy Jack Warner's story and then yeah.
Oh,
all right, later.
Have a great day. Be safe.
Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. Richard, I have a question for you. Who is paying the lawyer that working with the people who supposed to be deported? Are they working pro bono, the lawyers? And
I can't answer to their briefs. Some may be working pro bono. Some feel strongly. Some lawyers feel strongly about human rights issues, so they may be doing it pro bono.
Because I wonder where these Venezuelans getting money to get lawyer and they're not working, some of them. So I was wondering where
Well,
they get
some of them
money
are
from.
working, but then you also have, even if a lawyer is charging, sometimes you have philanthropists that will put money behind the scenes because they believe in human rights issues. So you have people who are very passionate about human rights and will think that that kind of deportation and how it was done was unfair and uncalled for. So you'll have people who are going to finance it. But but to be fair, there are also some lawyers who will do stuff pro bono because they feel strongly about those kinds of issues.
Yes, but in that case, unknown, why people not fighting for country? Why so that it's okay for people to come and do what they want here and then
That is your perspective and worldview. But some people have a worldview that human rights are important and human rights are reflective of the country. And how you treat with migrants is a reflection of the country. You may have a particular perspective. They may have a higher perspective on how they see those human rights issues, and they may think that the country is dealing with it wrongly and is in fact besmirching the name of the country.
But if you're reaping havoc in a country, you and they want to deport
Okay,
people like
that's a xenophobic statement.
One other
Just saying a generalized statement of migrants wreaking havoc is xenophobic.
No,
So
when I say that,
you need to analyze yourself.
Okay, when you come in a country, you come in a country to better yourself. You're stealing, you're killing Trinidadians, you're doing this, you're doing that. I mean,
So are you saying that all the people who are detained in Chaga must are stealing and killing people? That's what you're saying?
I'm not saying all. I'm just saying what come over the news. I just said that. What came over the news. Another
So
thing.
you're saying that all the people detained in Chaga, two people, the attorneys may or may not be fighting for us stealing and killing people? That's what you're suggesting?
I'm just repeating what came over the news, that what some of them are doing. Some of them not helping themselves here. They're just idling and reaping havoc. So those could go back home. Those that here to better themselves can remain and better themselves. But do you have to sign a deportation paper to leave the country? That's not so in America. They just send you back here and that's it. You shouldn't have to sign anything, whether you sign it or not. If you gotta go, you gotta go. Yes or no?
Thank you, Miss Sampson.
Yeah, it's part of the process. I mean, if you don't sign it, you can still be deported.
Mm-hmm.
But they should have a right to be heard. And I know the immigration process is that there's an immigration tribunal that sits to hear issues of deportation. I don't know if that was followed or not. It seems from the news that it was not followed. So I don't know. Anyway, whoever the attorneys are that are looking into the issue, I'm sure is going to look at it.
Yeah. Good morning, caller.
Good morning once again, Paul and Richard. Good morning.
Good morning.
I have a serious problem when politicians like to mama guy people and say that great people like Mahatma Gandhi and Nelson Mandela quote these people and these people of greatness and want to link our local politicians who have been a spent force for all these years and say they are like them. It irked me last night when I heard Jack Warner say that Miss Kamala Persetta is the Mandela of Trinidad. I just like, is he going off for something? Is he going up there? So is it that he doesn't know who Nelson Mandela is? Because if he talk about he brought Mandela to Trinidad, and there were reasons why he brought him, of course. We know the reason why he brought him to Trinidad. Then how could he put Kamala Persetta alongside Mandela? Or call her the Mandela thing? That means they do not know who Nelson Mandela is. And that is get me on my nerves because you do not use these great people like that. And my other thing, I find Jack Warner was stammering in the wrong places. We know he stammers, right? He admitted that he stammers. But when he was stammering last night, he had to remember that his now reclaimed party, he should have stammered there too. And I believe people should not use these types of innuendos and things about people's lives, personal life, on the political platform, and then people jump and clap and wave and blow horn. That shouldn't be part of the thing. And when one side does it, is a problem. When the next side does it, it's not a problem. So why is he storming at that particular juncture? I have a serious issue, and to tell you the truth, I'm sounding like this because listening to Jack Warner last night, it just get me. It just got to me because seeing that he did so many things and said so many things and waiting on a plane to go somewhere else, and he wanted to come and play holier than thou last night. It was disgusting for me. And Mrs. Pamela Prasad Sessa quoting from the Bible, Exodus, kind of taking things out of context as well, because she's quoting about the stand your ground thing what they want to do. Quoting from the Bible, stand your ground. Please, Pamela Prasad Sessa, do not fool people. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Good morning.
I mean, personal mudslinging is always unattractive, wherever it comes from, and I really think politicians should refrain from that. Talk about the issues.
Exactly.
Talk about why you're going to be better. Why you're going to be better at ruling the country and getting services to the citizens, rather than attacking personalities.
Good morning, caller.
Good morning, good morning to all you good gentlemen there.
Morning, LA. What's up?
Hey, I'm not too bad, man. Not too bad with people. On my way to Las Vegas right now. Good morning. Good morning to Dr. Paul.
I hope you have a bottle of water.
Bye. Good morning to Mr. Richard Raghubarsing, and good morning to Mr. Wendell Stephen, wherever you are, the next mayor.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
How you good gentlemen doing, sir?
Not bad at all.
Watching, eating popcorn, and drinking coffee.
Oh my God! I'm going to Vegas right now. Right now it's done almost 100 degrees already in Fahrenheit. Almost 5 o'clock in the morning. Like 5 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, I guess we're talking politics. I mean, I guess the last caller, like, now hear politics for the first time. That style of politics has been going on in Trinidad and Tobago for, I think, as long as I know myself.
Not only Trinidad and Tobago, around the world.
Yeah, all over the place. I don't know, like they like living in La La Land because that's been going on for the longest while. I mean, I don't know how Mr. Warner told them so much. Mr. Warner, they are kind of compliment that Mr. Warner, I really like him or hate him. We went to our World Cup. I was representing our World Cup because of Mr. Warner direct input. Otherwise, we could guys or whatever we could ever make a World Cup. Can never make a World Cup in a World Cup. You know, Mr. Warner do a lot for the country. I mean, everything he do wrong, it have a court for that. It have a system to go through, and wherever it is. But I am proud of Mr. Warner. And actually, I don't know what he was able to accomplish. Next thing about the deportation of people, and it's about procedure that go through, and people come on the radio station and saying things like that. That is a song so racial motivated, man, because what evidence you have to say that these people was committing crime and killing Trinidadians and doing this? What evidence you had to say that? How you come and say something like that? You know what I mean? And it's real xenophobic kind of thing. We have nothing about humanity anymore. It's not like people just come to Trinidad. People come, much Trinidadians come to America and live in America and here. You know what I mean? So Paul, you know that? You know what I mean? So
and doing good and doing bad.
And doing good and doing bad is So how you come and say that they're robbing people and killing Trinidad and all kind of thing? You know what I mean? Trinidad robbing Trinidad and killing Trinidad too. So what are we going to do? We should deport the Trinidad who killing people. Then we're going to deport them and send them. You know what I mean? People need to think about what they're saying when they come to talk on the radio, man. You know what I mean? Think about what they're saying. If I want to make a statement and say he makes a reference to the opposition leader as the Mandela of local politics, okay? You agree, disagree? That irks you so much. That irks you so much. You come on, the much things you just hear on both political platforms. That's been going on ever since I've been going on Paul, you know
As
that.
I always say, everybody has the right to their opinion once they deliver it
Yeah,
respectfully.
but no, they acting like it's surprised that God they never hear before. That's been going on in politics in Trinidad for the longest time. Was playing on both sides. Yeah. I just hear the honorable Prime Minister give him respect, Dr. Rod. I hear he see some things already. Amazing. I hear that man say some things. I hear that man call Rodney Charles. I think nice infested thing. I hear he see that on a political, on a public platform. He said that, a Prime Minister of a country said that didn't irk that caller when he I tell people put the nut with the monkey put the nut. So I don't know what the monkey is for nut. You probably know, you know what I mean? Both sides is the same thing. Both sides political platform is the same thing. So ain't nothing new. They just to rise up the corner and people get that and clap. Yay! You don't hear nothing. Hey, what job creation do it? Can we come back and say the manifesto of the PNM said it was going to black apply both factories and then broadband internet, all of them. Then people doesn't honor the manifesto on both sides. When they give a manifesto a contract to the people, do they honor them things? They don't ever honor them things. So much time this government in power almost 7 to 8 years now. And the manifesto, what they consider accomplishing the manifesto. Anyway, guys, Dr. Anderson, you guys do an awesome job. Steve, my brother Steve,
be hydrated, be careful with in Vegas. The temperatures are high on the West Coast.
Hey, Paul, in Vegas, it's scheduled for 108. See how much is 118 in Celsius? How much is that?
That's crazy. That is crazy.
That's about 43. That's about 43 or 45. 45
something.
Yeah, 48. 47.78.
Hey, wow.
Yeah.
Be careful out there. That is not compatible with health and life.
I don't know if you guys see some videos people cracking egg on top of carhood and it's frying right there. If you're making like what cracking egg like on the road and it's frying. Any guys?
You gotta be careful.
All right, buddy. We'll pick up then.
All right, brother. You guys listen. Wendell, good morning wherever you are.
All righty. All right, let's grab another call here. Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning, Mr. Pina.
Yeah.
Morning.
Mr. Warner is good morning. Mr. Warner is not a spent force. If he was, wouldn't he be hearing anything about him? He would have been calculating for some time now that if I am approached, or maybe I should approach, or whatever his calculation was. You never know what math's going on in the background. And the other political streams, the other forces outside of the PNM would have been calculating. And of course, in the PNM, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So they would also have been wondering if Warner would come and endorse us again. Right? So Mr. Warner is not a spent force. You can hear, we become familiar with each other's voices here and how we make points and so on. And therefore, I can conclude that I've heard panic in the lady. She seemed very upset that Mr. Warner is about to create a disturbance in the peace of mind of the PNM. Well, that's how I express it. They definitely have something to worry about because we have been blessed with diversity. And the only way to manage diversity is through unity. And the PNM takes the view, well, I am here and you may join me. You are welcome to join me. Otherwise, it'll your tail down the road. So we will do it by ourselves. So basically, you're leaving out a large section of people. Where is the rest of us to go? Now I'm a UNC, but what about everybody else? Where are they to go? If you're not welcome in the PNM because you might be a little raucous, you might have a divergence of views, you might want to associate with them, but not 100%. I've never wanted to associate myself 100% and subsume myself into any organization. I've had difficulty with that. And that's how we are. There's lots of people who would like to work with you and get along with you and do business with you. Doesn't mean you have to jump in bed with them. So I'm saying that the PNM is a party that excludes people. Where are all these people to go? Right? I am not surprised that attempt after attempt has been made to come together. It is not a weakness. Diversity is not a weakness. Diversity means that people are using diversity of views, but diversity in where you come from and how you think and how you grow up and what you value and that kind of thing, that's okay. You do not have to subsume that to any political party. I think the strength in Trinidad and Tobago is outside of the PNM, where people are still using their brains and they are not behaving like that little bundle of sticks the Italian magistrates have called a patio, meaning bundle, a tight little bundle that no diversity there. Everything is one and the same. If you want to be in the PNM, that is how you have to be. No, thank you. Right.
Good morning.
Good morning again. For that one who traveling from the east to the west or wherever he's going, I find most times those people who live, I believe he's one that living abroad. Why does have to call and find out what people are saying back here? Make a lot of reference to what I heard Mr. Aruka said. And why that had to bother him so much? You call. Make your statement of what you think about the politics and what happening there. You always have to call, and condemn what somebody say, and they talking stupidness, and they think, and that means they know this, and they know that, and call and make all the contribution. When the people call, it's for the host, the people carrying on the program to banter with things, so this, that, or the other, but follow to call and trying to be crying down people. Who the hell all they think is? Always like somebody died and make all your God. That is what I have to say. Thank you.
Right, so as we have a pause, may I remind people that what you're looking at, Miss So 4, are the latest play from RSR Productions. Our first play after This Little Piggy is Tired is on this weekend, Saturday and Sunday at the Central Bank Auditorium. Saturday at 8:30, Sunday at 6:30, Saturday at 8:30 p.m., Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Of course, tickets are available at the Central Bank box office, which opens from 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily, so you can get the tickets there. And I know quite a few people went there yesterday, which was our first day to buy tickets. So you can get tickets at the box office. You can also get tickets, of course, at our various outlets, Electronics in Arima, Pet Butler in Curep, the Rum Box in St. James on the Western Main Road, K-Squared Fashions on the upper level of West Mall, Creme Fresh in Brentwood Mall in Chagonas, Fens of Marabella at Piaco Plaza for those of you in the Trin City area, Jabili Rawi in Tunapuna for those of you in that area, Sharfler Auto Services for those of you in the Sharfler area, and of course, Antoni's Florals in Valpark Shopping Plaza, which is just beneath the Valpark Chinese restaurant. You can get your tickets there too. So you have outlets strewn across the East-West corridor where you can get tickets. But ultimately, if you want to get them at the Central Bank Auditorium, you can. And the box office there opens from 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. It's grueling getting to, to opening night. So we are having a lot of long and late rehearsals. But it's going to be a bumper session. Trust me.
Congratulations to the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and the Arts. August 11th has been designated United Nations World Steel Pan Day.
Yes, I heard that yesterday.
That's great news.
Yeah, that's great news.
So congratulations to the minister and the ministry and their team. That will happen just so. That takes a lot of lobbying, and backdoor negotiations. So that's really good news. So the World United Nations and the world will celebrate the steel pan on August 11th.
Whenever you're planning anything here, I know that's 2
but I'm
days.
sure that
I know that's 2 days for the local government elections, but
well, they can still do things.
Yeah.
I'm sure the ministry will not let it pass without some sort of recognition and celebration here. the birthplace of the steel pan. It would be remiss of them to do that. I'm sure they had a lot to do with the United Nations declaring it World Steel Pan Day, you know? So then they ain't going to all that would go down the drain.
Yeah. All right, let's grab this call here. I'm still trying to get on to Mr. Warner.
What day of the week is that, by the way?
It is a Friday.
I want to criticize that caller, the caller from the United States, because he was very cheeky with his statement, right? You could have called out every promise, and I'm not defending the PNM, don't misunderstand me, right? Because I agree with most of the things that he says. But you could have identified every promise that the PNM made that never materialized. You're saying both sides do it, but you can't identify the promises that the UNC that never materialized with the UNC, right? It shows your petticoat, in other words, right? Well, I want to remind him about the tunnel from Tunapuna to Maracas that the UNC promised, right? Because he can't articulate the ones that the UNC did too. So I want to remind him about at least one, right? So when you're condemning and don't identify the condemnation on one side and then say both sides do it, just to seem unbiased. Condemn both sides. All right? That is it for now, John. Hey, one other question. The question I just had, it eluded me right now. I'll call back. I needed some information. All right, cool.
All right. Have a great day.
Good morning. All right, I'm still, I don't know what's going on, but I'm trying, Jack, number here, just ringing out, don't know why. Good morning.
Good morning. Morning, Mr. Lincoln. Water for all in 2000 by Pandey, and Kamala was to solve the crime in 100 days. Anyhow, that is not what I call for. It's on the 11th of August, will be a holiday. I would like to.
No, it's not a holiday.
No, it's not a holiday.
Please. Not a holiday.
No, that being said, I don't mind it being a holiday, but no, it's not.
Nah, man, August 1st is a holiday, or you want August 11th a holiday too? And then August 31st is a holiday. One tell you.
Yeah,
or you want 3 holidays in August?
They'll give us a one-time holiday to celebrate the steel pan.
Can they take something off the book?
No, why
like what? What to take off the book? Tell me what to take off the book. What to take off the book?
Something off the calendar. Take something
Like what?
off the calendar.
Like what? Tell me. Like what? What to take off?
Arrival day. Everybody arrive.
I knew you would say that. Absolutely not. I know. That's why I asked the question. Look.
Will we be getting steel band on every street where we could come out and dance?
I didn't want to hear you again.
That's you.
I don't find have anything funny about that.
Thanks, Miss Samson.
I just want to know if you're getting a holiday on that day. I find it very important. I can have a calendar in front of me to go down the road. That's the only thing pops up in my mind because everybody arrives.
I'm not surprised.
Morning.
That is tasteful statement. Distasteful. You changed my whole mood.
Hello.
Good morning.
I just want to know. I'm not hearing anything about the gosh, who is I want to call me now? I'm not hearing about the pan as a national instrument.
Hello?
We have it as a national instrument, but where's the declare that? Is it declared and we patent this pan as being a instrument made in Trinidad and Tobago? I don't think that has happened yet. Has that happened? I mean, it's very.
You don't know?
I'm not sure.
Let me ask you a question. Has there been any other instrument patented as?
But shouldn't that happen?
Only talk about that.
But people.
No, I'm asking a question.
I believe so. For wherever country it make, and I can't be sure. And who made
I
it?
never hear no country claim the piano, the guitar, the saxophone,
No?
the xylophone. I never hear no country claim no instrument.
Oh, so that's
That doesn't
not
mean that it can't happen. But that's why I asked the question. I've never heard about it.
because I find
right.
they should do that, because the amount of countries now taking it and coming up with all kind of different ways, Japan and China, and them with different
And good for them.
making
Good
it
for
and
them.
all that. So,
If we don't want to do it, let them do it.
well, that's why I'm saying I was hoping that is what would have happened first.
All right.
All
Thanks,
this should
Zena.
have happened alongside with what is going on. But I want to say, from what I read, they're going to have pan in the streets. I don't know
I'm sure
where.
they'll celebrate it.
I assume they will have something.
We
gotta run. Thank you.
Yes.
I assume they will have something like that, like
I'm sure. And it's a Friday. It's a Friday, so
that's why I asked what day of the week it was.
Then to pan in the street and through St. James and through Port of Spain and stuff, and San Fernando and stuff.
Yeah, and that's what should happen.
That statement did it upset me here.
Yep, it indicates
it's so distasteful.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if people can find that kind of statement funny. How it can be funny?
All right, well, gentlemen, I do have Mr. Warner online. Good morning to you, Mr. Warner.
Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, Mr. Warner.
Of course, we have Paul Richards, and of course, Richard Raghu Basi.
Yep.
Long time no see. You looked well last night. You're keeping yourself well. How are you?
Well, the Lord has been kind to me. Very kind.
Amen. Tell us about how this reconciliation evolved and took place. I spoke to you about 4 years ago, and as we well know, that wasn't your perspective. But times change. I guess people have different perspectives at different times in their lives. Who reached out to who? How did this reconciliation with Mrs. Pasabi-Sessa come about?
I think it was a mutual affair. We were at a choker fete earlier in the year, and she was there and I was there, and we gravitated towards each other. We shook hands and we exchanged pleasantries, and that was the beginning.
And what was the main factor after that initial meeting and exchange of pleasantries that you decided, well, maybe this is a good time to take it further?
Paul, as I'm sure you will agree, that after that, one had to look at the state of the country, and one had to agree that the country had never been so bad. One has to look at the level of unemployment. One has to look at the amount of young people who are leaving the country in droves, and they are our brightest people, by the way. One has to look at the behavior and the mannerism of the Prime Minister to of course, to criticisms or to other persons. And generally speaking, crime is out of control, home invasions, and the list goes on and on. I mean, the infrastructure, and it's not getting better by the day, Paul, it's getting worse. It's against that background, therefore, that anybody, and let me say it before I say this, that there are people who will sit on the fence and criticize the government morning, noon, and night and do nothing about it. They will be angry, but they will not come out and stand and be counted. Well, I choose not to do that. I decided that I will come out. I will renew my bonds with the UNC. And I shall fight to make this country a better place.
How do you reconcile, because politics, as Paul was saying, politics in Trinidad and Tobago is almost like a blood sport in terms of how the words and mudslinging flows back and forth depending on whatever election is on. But how do you reconcile the very public departure that you would have had from the UNC, including the point of Munilal, Rudy Munilal at one point saying that you were undercover operator for the PNM when you formed the ILP back a few years ago, and now rejoining and having to deal with Dr. Munilal and stuff? How do politicians manage to put all of those things under the bridge?
Well, I don't think that is too difficult. I think that you are as difficult as you make it sound. The the fact is that one has to sit down and make a judicious decision in terms of where one wants the country to go. One has to sit down and decide: am I going to continue with the hatred and the dislike with the UNC, or am I going to compromise with them and try to get them to understand that we have to put our heads together to have change? Let me say this to you quickly. Unless we all come together, I mean this very seriously, all come together for the common good, this country will not survive. And in that context, therefore, I'm saying that it's not difficult. Look, all these memes and all these posts in social media and so on, they don't bother me anymore, because people have gone past that. The country has gone past the stage where people use posts and memes and Jack Warner didn't like Kamala, and Kamala didn't like Jack Warner, and Gary Griffith and Jack Warner. People have passed that. People now are concerned in how they can improve their lives. And we must get there and discuss with the people how we shall help them to improve their lives.
You have said in the past that you should take people at their word. So is it that we should disregard those very strong words and sentiments you meted out against Mrs. Pasabi-Sessa over the last 10 years? And in your have you been able to in yourself resolve the concerns you've had about Mrs. Pasabi-Sessa as a leader? Because you've made some very strong statements about her leadership.
Sure. I'm aware of all I said. But the fact is, the times have changed. We cannot continue. I mean, holding on to the past and not accepting change. And because of that, we have reached a point where I'm saying that the past is behind us. Nobody is perfect, Paul, and at least, of course, me. And unless we decide that nothing is gained by staying as we are, by keeping the status quo, then of course we shall all perish.
The meeting last night, you focused a lot on the major issues, the crime, the unemployment, but you also delved into the political pecan. Is that the kind of campaign that you are going to be engaging in moving forward?
But as I said last night, my style will be different. Yes. I have Paul, I have an overseas call here, right? I have to take it. I have an overseas call here. Hold on for a minute, please.
Sure. So that's Austin Jack Warner. He comes back on the line.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello. He's gone to on a phone on overseas.
Okay. All right. No problem. Thank you.
You call back, or are you holding on?
We'll hold. If it's okay.
Okay, hold on.
Thank you. So we're holding for Mr. Warner to come back on the line, because these are the questions that people are going to ask, and I mean the same questions we've asked of Gary Griffith, because he's also had some strong statements about Mrs. Pasabi-Sessa. But as Mr. Warner said, I guess different people have different approaches to life philosophies and acrimonies in the past, and we'll see how it evolves.
All politicians are a special breed.
All politicians are a special breed. Fortunately, I'm a legislator. I'm not a politician.
They can forgive at the flick of a wrist. They're forgiving you. Okay.
Well, I always think about it ends up being essentially about your objectives or objective.
Yeah, ultimately.
I'm back.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Thank you for staying with us. So we were talking about the type of campaign you focused deliberately on in this instance, Gonzalez and Young, and the innuendo, the negativity. Not that they may not have been, the other sides may not have been guilty of this thing, but is this the kind of campaign you intend to wage until August 14th and beyond?
Far from it. I intend to tell people how we can improve their lives. I intend to tell people how we can collect the garbage that surrounds their homes, how we can clear their drains. I intend to tell people how we can at least maintain or keep their community centers. I intend to tell people how we will cut the grass in the cemeteries and the recreation ground, and how we shall have, based on our collective efforts, how we shall have to make a difference. That should be. I was a bit negative in the end last night, because Stuart Young always gets at me. And I reached a stage where I want to put him in his place. And even Gonzalez, who I've been saying anyway here, I said on a platform. But Gonzalez also too, I'm prepared to hit. Those two I'm prepared to hit and to hit mercilessly whenever they raise their heads.
But is it hit? Is it anything goes? Innuendo, or is it about whether you think they're performing in their capacities or not? Or is anything fair game for you?
I at this stage, probably played by ear and see how it goes. If it means innuendos, then so be it. If it means their lack of performance, then so be it. Whatever it is, we shall play by ear as the time goes.
So is anything goes depending on what comes into your head then?
I didn't say that. I gave you a long list of things we shall do and tell people about how we improve in their lives. I couldn't tell you, I won't tell you, and don't put in my mouth, Paul, that anything goes.
No, I'm not saying, I'm just trying to clarify.
That's not the way responsible people behave.
Okay. What about the ILP? You said last night on the platform also that at some point you're going to disband the ILP and fully reintegrate into the UNC. You have a timeline on that?
I think that should be done within the next month or so, if not less. We shall maybe a meeting in 2 weeks' time. I've already called the meeting, and in 2 weeks' time we shall meet and we make a decision on it.
So is it that is this an admission that you don't think the ILP in its present construct can make a difference and reintegration of the UNC is the best way forward? Is that what it is?
This time has proven that this is a two-party country. I mean, when I saw that, not a damn seat for them. The COP saw that, not a damn seat for them. The ILP saw that, not a damn seat for them. And as well meaning as these small parties are at the moment, they too shall fall by the wayside because this country is a two-party country.
You have never wavered in your support for Gary Griffith. Is it that you're going to be working with the NTA or with both the UNC and the NTA?
I'm working with both of them. I'm working with the NTA as of this afternoon. I'm going into Lopino and other places in Bonnie West. I'm going to San Fernando on Thursday. I'm going to Moruga on Wednesday. I'm working all over the country, Paul, carry the message of political change.
So is this now basically because many are suggesting that this local government election is really not on the scale of a normal local government election. It's really the start of a campaign to 2025. Are those sentiments you share?
I prefer to say that this is a dress rehearsal for the big stage in 2025.
Oh, okay. So you see yourself continuing past August 14th with the UNC and the NTA?
Almost definitely, until the objective has been achieved. This is not, of course, a 9-day wonder. This is a deliberate move of mine to bring political change in the country.
Gary Griffith has said that he is not against the PNM, but he's against Dr. Keith Rowley. What are your thoughts on that?
I think the PNM's biggest liability is Dr. Rowley. Had he not been there, or had he not performed so badly, a lot of people today who are bitter would not have been. And therefore, as far as what Gary has said, in some ways, that is the truth. The PNM of Patrick Manning is no more. The PNM of Eric Williams is no more. And the PNM of Keith Rowley is the one that is at present and will most surely cause the demise of the party.
Now, your issues outside this country are no secret. Do you think that those issues will have any bearing on your credibility on platforms heading to August 14th and beyond?
Look, let's face it. I have been in a fight with the US since 2011. Today is 2023, and the case hasn't started yet. And I am overjoyed by the fact that the magistrate, last magistrate, I think Ricardo has the name, said that in so many words, he said that the opposition, right, is I won't say a forgery, but it's a mockery. And she chided the AG on it, and I was happy to hear her say so. I have been in FIFA for 30 years. FIFA never said anything about me. I have been in CFE for 40 years. No one said anything about me thieving any money. I have been in TNTFA for 50 years. Same comments. And if the US believe that because I didn't help them to win a World Cup venue, that I must be vilified and I must be, of course, incarcerated as a result of that, then we shall fight in the court. And in the court will decide who is right and who is wrong. I am convinced, however, that in the end, justice shall prevail. At a tremendous cost to me, of course, but justice shall prevail.
What about those who suggest, well, go to the US and clear your name?
Why US doesn't come here and the US is here trying to make me become my name. Why should I go to the US? Any history, and if you know the history of the US, and even Guantanamo Bay in Cuba, any history of the US will tell you that you do have a chance. Once, of course, they believe that they want you at all costs, you do have a chance. The history has shown that. History has, and I mean, Paul, you're a man who I believe you are right. You are widely read. Look at the U.S. history and see for yourself if what you just said makes sense.
So is it that you don't think you'll get a fair trial in the U.S.?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
It would be remiss of us to have you on and not ask you about the local football fortunes and your thoughts on those.
I regret to tell you that the local football is such a low level that it shall not rise again. As far as I see it, it shall not rise again to the heights it had before in our collective lifetime. FIFA is same thing, holding them by the I don't want to say it here, but FIFA holding them at ransom after 5 years having a normalization committee. This is unheard of, unprecedented. The standard of football is also very low in the secondary school, in the regional associations. The refereeing is also low, and therefore I don't think that football shall rise to the heights that we had in the past in a short time. It shall not.
Why do you think FIFA have this stance with the local football fraternity?
Simply because the fact that they're not performing. If they were performing, people like winners. If they were performing, if they had training programs that would, of course, produce quality players, people would support them. When it was in the 80s and 90s, I had a deliberate youth program that produced the Latapis and the Yorks of this world. And you have to, therefore, go back to a situation where you begin to train players. There is no quick fix in football, Paul. You don't have instant success, like instant coffee, instant Nescafe, and so on. You don't have that. You have to work, you have to build. You have to have a vision, a 4-year vision, and build. And when you build, you shall be able to get quality players that shall lift the level of football in the country. You can't call, I am sure you can't call 5 national football players. You can't. You know why you can't? Because there are none.
You're right, I can't.
What do you think of Angus Eve as the coach?
Angus Eve needs help. Plenty help. I sometimes empathize with him. He means well, but he needs serious help. At the end of the day, you'll realize that unless we get some serious foreign assistance in our technical development, we shall not improve our football.
Mr. Warner, thanks for being with us this morning. We hope to be talking to you closer to the August 14th poll, and be safe.
Okay, Paul. Thank you very much for having me.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Warner. All the best to you.
Okay, man.
All right. Take care.
The one and only Austin Jack Warner.
Yep. And this is where we wrap it up for this morning. So have a fantastic day, whatever you do on this Tuesday morning. And of course, just reminding you that theater is on this weekend. What you looking at me so for? On Saturday, 8:30 and Sunday at 6:30. Tickets available at the Central Bank Auditorium from 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. And of course, all of the outlets which I previously identified, you can check RSRR Productions Theater for any information that you require, even to purchase online. Have a great one. See you tomorrow.
We had a chap that came in, well, 2 people actually that came in asking about parking.
But parking is in front of Central Bank.
Yeah.
But you have security that's out there that's monitoring parking.
Right. That's what he wanted to find out.
Have a great day. Y'all be safe out there.
All right, Paul. All the best. See you in a bit. Rich, we will chat tomorrow. Of course, Wendell will join us tomorrow.